see, you may have got a glimpse that in the studio we have Jesus Timur again. And I just want to welcome you. And I just really want to encourage you to lock in on this one. This segment is going to be extremely powerful, and you do not want to miss not a moment of it. Without any further ado, I just want to say that Jesus is a very dear friend and an extraordinary businessman, entrepreneur. I would call him a serial entrepreneur. And this gentleman, all the way from Venezuela, has been able to come to America and literally impact the lives of thousands of people. And even now, he's touching people all around the nation and around the world. So now that we're live and we've got you on here, Jesus, I've just got to dive right in. You were talking about in our last episode, you were talking about your faith and you were talking about the importance of God in your life. And did you ever, when you were in Venezuela, were there any scriptures that stood out to you that were important uh, that you'd want to share?
Yeah, absolutely. Especially, I mean, since when I was around 5, 6 years old, a friend of the family, he saw me I was playing, and he shared this scripture with me, which is Psalm chapter 3, verse 3. I'm not read if you allow me. Uh,
Yes, please.
Lord, you are like a shield that keeps me safe.
Mm.
You bring me honor. You help me win the battle. Um, yeah, I mean, I just realized that the guy was, sending his protection even before anything, anything happened in my life. And that's what I'm going back to my point. I mean, God is always in control. I mean, we maybe don't understand, but we know. I mean, we know that when we look back, I mean, things in our lives, when they come, uh, the good things, when they come together, I mean, it must be God. I mean, it's impossible that you can connect with our friends over there. I mean, be able to meet people they move you forward in life. I mean,
Mhm.
the opportunities. So
So when you came to America, though, because this was the place you dreamed of, and you knew God was with you and that He was your shield and He was your protector, and that's something that from a very early age you just decided to believe, and I have to commend you for that. But the question that a lot of people have once you make that decision, was life like a bed of roses when you came to America? Was there any hardship, any struggle, or has everything just been great, peaches and cream for you?
yeah, no, no, not at all. I mean, when we came here to this a new country, I didn't know anybody besides my friends. They were playing with me. And you don't have family here. I mean, the food was different back in 1999 when I first came. I mean, we didn't have the internet and video calls like now. We used to buy a phone card that allow us to talk for 30 minutes on the phone.
Mm.
So we talk to our families like every 3 months, because to save money, we didn't make money back there. Um, and there are always challenges, but it was a journey that I was enjoying. I mean, even with the situation, I felt it was no drama. I don't know if it makes sense. I mean, it was like a path the that we have to walk, but with a peace inside.
It
So
was like a path that we have to walk, but you had peace inside. Wait, wait. The majority of people, because we're talking about people, Jesus, that have now reached an age that they've survived COVID, survived the pandemic, they survived the isolation, only to find themselves on the other side being alienated, isolated, forgotten, disregarded. And you're saying that sometimes in life, there's a journey that you have to walk, but you have to have peace in the middle of what seems like tribulation?
yeah, exactly what like you say. I mean, like COVID, same thing like COVID. I mean, it was not COVID back in 1999, but I feel like I was in that situation with no family members around. Uh, some limitations about how things gonna end up, and I have to have faith. And I believe there's a time there's a training and the spiritual room and how to trust and follow God's direction. Because when you mention COVID, I mean, people get, isolated on their houses. I mean, with the same of the uncertainty. But because uh, I felt like I was guiding, I didn't feel alone. So I was in a foreign country, but I feel guiding.
Hmm.
So that's a experience there because I always felt peace. So
So that's really interesting. So you went through hardship, but you were at peace when you were doing it. In order to make a transformation, you went from, I'm sure you had some small part-time jobs when you started. What was it? What were you reading? Because in our last, well, 2 episodes ago, we were talking about the cash flow quadrant, and yet in our last episode, you mentioned to me before we went live that you had read something from Robert Kiyosaki. Would you share that?
yeah, when I stopped playing baseball, because the contract was over. I mean, it's not something that you choose. I mean, it just happened. I mean, they don't renovate your contract, then you have to actually to face the real life. I mean, you have to work in a regular job, not anymore in a baseball team with the organization. So I realized the American dream is not like like was in the movie. So now became working hard. I mean, get paid little, and I say, my God, this is not the life I was looking for. Back in my country, a pastor, he was talking about this book, Rich Dad Poor Dad, by Robert Kiyosaki. He was explaining that he has two dads, one the 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 biological dad, and the other dad that was his friend dad, the Robert Kiyosaki, and he learned from those two experience. So I was reading, and Robert Kiyosaki explained that you can actually that you can create wealth. And at the time, I didn't have anybody like somebody that can be my mentor in my life, like the way you have been with me. I watched this commercial on TV. I bought the Robert Kiyosaki box with all the CD, the information. And on my way to work, I had to drive 40 minutes. I put a CD. I listened to the cash flow quadrant. The Robert Kiyosaki explained, the companies, network marketing specific. I mean, they are great because it's a low cost to start the company. The second part is the company want you to succeed, because if you're successful, the company is going to be successful, and the income, I mean, it's up to you. The better you work, the more you're going to pay. Um, I mean, it sounds something like I can do it.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
2 months later, a friend of mine picked me up, brought me to a presentation. I say, no, you know
So
what? I'm,
wait,
I'm
wait.
busy.
So let me ask you a question. So you're saying, so in the Robert Kiyosaki book, Rich Dad Poor Dad, he talked about the cash flow quadrant, which was this particular piece that I actually shared 2 episodes ago, where I was explaining, according to his teaching, that we all start here in the upper left hand
Yeah,
corner of the quadrant as employees where we have a job. And then the goal is to become self employed, but there's a limitation to being self employed. You actually own your own job. And then once we realize this, we want to move to this quadrant where we can become a business owner, because then you own a system that actually works for you, so that hopefully you can use the money that is generated in this system so that you can become an investor, so that actually your money is working for you. Correct? That's what you're talking about. Am I correct?
no, no, 100%. And exactly like you mentioned earlier in the chapter before, the proximity. Not only I realized that this company, it was true. I mean, they teach you, they train you to become successful. But when I went to the presentation, I noticed that the people that attend to the presentation, they have the same mindset like mine. They want to
Okay.
do something better in life.
So what you're saying is they had a mind of optimism. A few episodes ago, I was talking about optimists, people that believe for greatness, that believe something good can happen, compared to pessimists who believe nothing can happen good and nothing will work for them and everything is a scam or a possible failure. So you're saying that it's important to be around people that are optimistic and positive thinkers. Am I correct?
Yeah, that's right. Because when I started this company that I fell in love in the travel industry, the network marketing company,
And we won't mention their name, but keep
yeah,
going.
I went back to my friends and I shared, hey, you know what? I find something, that we can work and we can get out this job and we can get paid the money that we deserve. Nobody believed. They turned me down. Like, no, man, like those things. I mean, they got you there. And I was frustrated because I was sincere. I mean, I saw a good opportunity. But however, I keep going to the presentation, and the people that attend to the presentation became my friend later on because
Wow,
they say,
that's another good point. So you're talking about you actually change your association so that you
you
could
have,
change
you have
your destination.
you have to, like you mentioned before, the proximity is very important. And now with the technology, you just from home, you can plug in to the group of people that have the same mentality, they have the same goals, they will encourage you. Because this is the thing, it's a lot of people that they don't believe, but also there's a lot of people who do believe
Come on.
in great things. So it's up to you what side of the town you want to be. So
Okay. Wait. This is huge. So the, sometimes when a certain number of years pass, we forget the basics. Do you know Tiger Woods and all the great athletes of our time? They all have coaches. And the coach, the purpose of the coach is to remind you to do the basics. What you just said is what our parents told us, that we have to be careful about the company that we keep. You become those that you become like those that you hang around, or birds of a feather flock together, is how they used to say it. And actually, I remember, Jesus, when it was very common that your grandma or one of the older elders in the family would say, "Those kids right there are no good. Don't You can't hang around them." And now you just said it. It's the exact same principle, that if you're going to achieve great success, you have to surround yourself with success-minded individuals. Is that what you're saying?
yeah, especially now after the age of 44, you have to love yourself. You have to realize, hey, and I'm with the right group of people. You have to respect yourself. If they don't appreciate your presence, leave. It doesn't matter if it's your cousin, your neighbor. If they don't
Wow.
appreciate you, go and be part of a group that they know your value. So
Okay,
that will be.
wait. That's so good.
Hmm.
If people do not appreciate your presence, leave and find a group that recognizes your value. That is huge.
Yeah, and the reason that I'm being friend for you with you for a long time is because it's always I receive always a blessing when I speak with you. The always word of faith, of encouragement from you, even that we live in different states. So now a lot of people, because they have a good heart, they don't want the somebody feel offended. Forget about it. God is expecting that you become the person that you have to become because they have a purpose for you. If you stay around those dream killers, guess what? Time is running fast. I have my baby son is a year and 3 months, and I looking at him like my time clock.
Mm.
As long he's little, is the time that I have to run because guess what? When he's 18, that means the 18 years passed in my life. So before with my 7-year-old and my 18-year-old daughter, I didn't pay too much attention because I have time. That's what I believe. But now with my son, I say I have to do what I have to do before he growing up. So you have to take care of yourself. You have to love yourself. So I'm fine. People they think like you. They wanna be, they wanna be going life. I mean, so step
That's
up.
so good. I have to just restate what you just said because it was so good. At some point, we have to recognize, just like our podcast title, there is no time to waste.
It's not.
And that is what you're saying. There is an epiphany that goes off in your mind where all of a sudden you realize I have no more time to waste. It doesn't mean that you don't spend time relaxing or you don't spend time enjoyment or enjoying events. Just the opposite. Now everything has to be significant. Everything has to matter. Everything has to be on purpose. Everything has to be by design. And here is why it's important. What you just said, Jesus, is that God has a purpose for us. And if we're going to fulfill our purpose, we have to move with intentionality. We cannot be random and haphazard here and there, spending time with the wrong people.
Can.
We're doing an episode called Right Circles, and that's exactly what it's about. Wonderful illustration to be able to show you the impact of being in and around the right circles. So I have to ask you a question. Jesus, when you realized that you had no more time to waste as you're looking at your baby boy getting older, he's now a year and a half, and you're like, okay, wait a second. He's now my time clock.
Mm-hmm.
And he reminds me, I've got 18 years that I've got to have high impact.
Yes, sir.
When that kicked in, how did you explain that to your wife?
I actually took a book. I write on the book 90 lines, which is the human average life, 90 years. Hopefully God give you more, more life and healthy and wealthy. But 90 years. So when you cover half of the 90 year, how much do you have?
45 left.
Because this is the thing. So are you planning to drive the Lamborghini when you're 85 years old?
No.
Are you planning to go to that vacation with your significant other to create memories when? In 3-4 years? When they go to college, they may be too late. So there is no time to waste. And I want to share this with you real quick. I have friends, good friends, that they invite me to barbecue, to laugh, to watch a soccer game. No problem. But when I share a new project, that was interesting. And you know what? Those are good friends, but they're not the right friend for my purpose. They're still good friends, but I know that when I have time to laugh, I can go and be on their event. But right now, I can't. I don't have time to waste. I mean, I'm brainstorming with you, with DJ Lori early. So people that are in the same mission. And believe me, it's way more fulfilling to be doing what you call it to do than to be trying to feed,
Oof, that's so good.
You have
Jesus,
to rescue yourself, then you can rescue them later.
ooh, that is so good. You have to rescue yourself and then rescue others later. That, bro, that is what they call a mic drop moment. I have to thank you for everybody. One, thank you, Jesus, for being with us. We appreciate it. You already know we're having you back because there is such rich value in the wisdom that you share and the way that you bring some of the complex thoughts to life. It's just so good. So can I say thank you?
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
All right. We will have you back. Now, ladies